The Bristol Flyers travelled down the M5 to renew their rivalry with the Plymouth Raiders in the first round of the BBL Cup. It took 2 periods of overtime to separate these teams at this stage last season, with the Flyers having never lost to the Raiders since their step up to the BBL just 12 months ago. And Plymouth would come out of the lock strong early on with Oren McMillan, first with the easy finish down low before driving the lane for the high-arcing finish off the glass. McMillan would have 9 of his 16 points in the first quarter to go along with 9 rebounds. Final seconds of the first, and Cardell McFarland would get the layup off in time before Richie Edwards commits the goaltend. Basket counts, and the Flyers trail by 1 at the end of the first quarter. Into the second period, and the Raiders would get the ball to new signing Richie Edwards, who knocks down the baseline 3. Then moments later, Josh Wiltshire kicks out to Daryl Corletto, who hits another triple for the Raiders to put them up by 4. But the Flyers would respond with a 3 from Matthias Silent, who went 6 for 10 from the field on his way to a game-high 23 points. Midway through the second, as Daryl Corletto would knock down the open look for 3 of his 16 first-half points. But once again, Bristol would respond at the other end with Tyrone Lee, who knocks the ball loose to McFarland, who kicks it back out to Lee on the break for the two-handed throwdown. Then a minute later, Cardell McFarland would put the moves on Josh Wiltshire for the easy finish. 2 of his 15 points in the game, Flyers up by 1. Final minute of the first half, and Corletto would find a wide-open Dante Williams in the paint, who throws down the emphatic two-handed slam. Flyers would trail by just 1 point at the end of the first half. Into the second half, and BJ Anthony would hit the open 3 ball to extend the Raiders' lead to 4. Then Josh Wiltshire would drive all the way to the rim for the soft finish with the left hand. But Bristol would retake the lead through Matthias Silent, who latches onto a pinpoint bounce pass from Cardell McFarland on the fast break. And that would spark an 11-0 run for the Flyers, with Silent knocking down another 3-pointer before Cardell McFarland would find Tyrone Lee off the pick and roll for the two-handed slam. Lee would finish with a double-double of 19 points and 13 rebounds on the night, as the Flyers would take a double-digit lead heading into the final minutes of the game. And there would be no letting up from the Bristol side, as Greg Street finishes with the soft touch in traffic before Cardell McFarland would put the game out of reach with the beautiful spin move and the teardrop finish. And Bristol would advance to the quarter-final of the BBL Cup with an 11-point win over their local rivals. Final score, Bristol Flyers 88, Plymouth Raiders 77. Flyers will now face Cheshire Phoenix in the second round of the Cup after the North West side were granted a bye from the first stage. And you'll next see the Flyers in action when they return to the SGS Wise Arena on Friday, October 23rd, as the team look to carry their momentum into the regular season against the Manchester Giants. Tickets are still available at bristolflyers.co.uk. For Flyers TV, I'm Downsy from SAM FM, supporting the Bristol Flyers every step of the way.